G'day, welcome back to today's video on gardens and lawns. Here's an example of different types of grasses, or really two in particular, sapphire buffalo and Kykuyu. So let's have a look at how each has its advantages and disadvantages from a real world experience here. I'm not an expert by any means, but it's pretty easy to see the evidence at the moment. I've got a mixture of two grasses. Yeah, probably up top yard is a bit of buffalo left. It used to be all buffalo, but down the front here is Kykuyu. It's come over from the neighbour's yard. And you see how one is much more weed tolerant than the other, but of course the other one needs a lot more maintenance. So let's have a look. Okay, well, as you can see, it has rained a fair bit here. I'm in Newcastle, New South Wales, Australia, and we've had pretty much 2 weeks worth of on and off rain. Not real heavy, but it's been pretty consistent. So as you can see right now, I'm on the heavy Kykuyu part. So you can see it's very lush and green. It's long, of course, because it hasn't been mowed. Oh, it was mowed actually. So that's only been probably 5 days or 5 to 6 days since the last mow. But you can see how long it's gotten after a couple of days. I have had PGR, which is plant growth regulator, applied to it to the past. It does slow it down a bit, but it still goes pretty crazy. Now we move up, we'll see the buffalo that was originally laid about 3 or 4 years ago. Probably a good example of it right here, how it stays nice and short and tight knitted. But the problem is, as soon as you get a bit of rain and sun, all the weeds come out. So we've got that weed there, which I'm not sure the exact name, but it's a real bugger of a thing. It's creeps across the grass. So I dare say it is a form of carpet grass. And we come over here. This is probably the worst one of all, and it's only located in the buffalo only. It's the summer grass. It comes out, reasonably easy. It's only very short roots on it, but yeah, as soon as you pull it out, it pretty much comes back again. Yeah, sure, it can be handled with chemicals and the such, but you don't want to be spraying that all the time. So here's a patch of grass that was purely only sapphire buffalo, or it still is. Laid about 3 years ago again. Comes up a treat when mowed regularly and the chemicals applied to it to look after the weeds. So yeah, late autumn, spring, early summer, it's sensational. But yeah, towards the end, when you don't get the chemicals pumped into it, and you start getting the summer grass back again in a pretty heavy way, and then you're sort of coming out of summer into autumn, winter, and say hello to Mr. Clover. So what we'll do, so as you can see, yeah, there's definitely see pretty clear disadvantages and advantages there. With the Kykuyu is nice and lush and very weed tolerant, but requires a lot more maintenance in regards to mowing. And you easily get a couple of bags of grass clippings from the Kykuyu, whereas a buffalo you can pretty much not even use a catcher and run straight over it. So I'll give all these 2 yards a mow, then we'll come back and see how they look. Alright, so there's your buffalo mowed. Probably about, probably half the catcher full, because you've got to empty this catcher out on a regular basis. Not the best. And had to do it pretty quickly because the rain's starting to fall again. So you can see where mowed it does look pretty good. Of course, still weeds there, of course. It just cuts them off, of course, as you can see. Still the weeds there. They're going to pop up the next couple of days. So hopefully, yeah, we'll get some chemicals on this and knock them out, and hopefully it stays like this. And by the way, the buffalo mower setting was on the lower setting, so you can do that pretty easily on the lower setting, and it glides over it pretty smooth. I know for this I'm going to have to put it up a notch and then see how it looks. If it doesn't bog down too much, maybe take it up another one, then hopefully end up on the lower setting. So yeah, we'll see how that looks. Okay, that's just 2 passes and the catcher's chock-a-block. As I said, you'll probably get more out of a decent mower, but over the Ozito, the catcher, he's not the best. It just gets all stuck there and swirls around in the blade and then deadens the battery. So probably going to be about a good 45 minutes here, so I'll see when it's done. Okay, so here's the kikuyu cut here in this section. As you can see, there's a few yellow spots, so that means you go a bit too. It's a problem with the kikuyu. If you go a bit too low, you get the yellow spots, but that does come back very quickly. But I'd rather go as low as I can. So that was one complete pass on the second lowest setting, and then I had to do another pass on the lowest setting, and then I just roughly went over it again without the catcher, just to clean up all the loose ends. So as you can see, the kikuyu does stripes a bit better, although I don't have a heavy cylinder mower. Comes up reasonably good. And here's the buffalo. Yeah, you can see the dirt spots. The dirt spot there is where I've been pulling weeds out constantly. It does feel a bit firmer underfoot, the buffalo, but as far as a preference, although it is hard work maintaining the kikuyu, you probably, as I didn't cut that for a week and it was pretty hard work in such a small yard, still a little bit huffing and puffing, but I would say I'm happy that the kikuyu is going to take over completely. I'm not trying to stop it, just got to keep on top of it with a mower, but at least I don't have to use many chemicals, so that's the advantage there. So hope this helps when you're trying to choose a grass. If you're sort of not prepared to mow a lot more but use more chemicals, I'd be going the buffalo in as many variants. But if you want it looking pretty lush and green all year round but prepared to mow a lot more, then give the tick to the kikuyu.